And we are live and we are back.
Let's go.
I'm Cory.
I'm Jordan.
And this is the Cordan Full Effect podcast, and we are back.
Like we never left.
We are back like we never left. Episode
54.
Episode 54. Like, see, all right. I know you've been listening to the Wealth Wednesdays. But on the Wealth Wednesdays, as you know, the authors of these articles give me hell. And so now I'm looking at this player's name, and his first name is Rich, but his last name is what? Gossage? And I don't understand why people have such difficult names. So Rich Gossage or Gossage, Gossage, Major League Baseball player.
I don't know. You started MLB. I don't know.
But if we would have had a guess for 54, I would have thought who would have been Brian Urlacher or Randy White. You know who Randy White is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know them. Yes.
Yeah, right. But apparently, Rich Gossage, he overtakes those two. Surprise overtakes Randy White, one of the all-time Cowboys players. Anyway, Rich was 9-time All-Star pitcher, played 22 seasons, 8 different teams. He was on the 1978 Yankees World Series team, and he was AL Relief Man of the Year that year, as far as 1978. And he was also inducted into the 2008 Hall of Fame. By the way, the Baseball Hall of Fame is the hardest one to get into. They don't put anybody in there. It's hard to get into, and they don't make you unanimous. Even Derek Jeter wasn't unanimous. Derek effing Jeter. What was I going to say? The one good thing about baseball versus all the other sports is that the season is only in 1 year. It doesn't like traverse over 2 years. So, it starts in the same year and ends, which makes it very easy.
Does that really matter? Because I feel like they on TV all the time. Like are they one of those seasons that's got like a 2-week break and then they go back to it?
The World Series ends in October, and spring training technically starts in February.
November, December, January. So 3 months.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you know anybody who played baseball is forever. It is damn near year round. Yeah.
I turn on the TV, they always on there. I'm like, oh man, y'all don't never stop. That's why they pay y'all so much.
I've never truly got like why they play so many games. Like, even with basketball, like I don't know what the theory is on playing X amount of games. You know what I mean? Like 181, I think, or 182, right? They have 81 home, 81 away games, but like how do you get to that? How do you get to that number? You know what I mean? And I guess it's because you can't pitch in back-to-back days. And since baseball, if you can't you need multiple starting pitchers in short, then each of them have to get in short, 20 games, I guess is how it works out. I'm just talking it out now, and I guess that's how it makes sense. But like, if I have 5 starting pitchers, they all would get, 20 starts or whatever it is, and you multiply that out, and then, boom. That's like I don't know, but I'm just you shaking.
No, it's too much. It's too many. I don't like it. Look at it.
Oh my goodness! But all right, y'all. First off, my apologies for the previous not Cordan Full Effect episode, but the previous episode before this one on how to win with money in 2023. The first 26 minutes, I am on mute. So please fast forward to 26 minutes and I think 25 seconds, and I will come off of mute. The good part about it is the first 26 minutes, I was discussing the budget, which I have already done multiple times. And the first Wealth Wednesday episode is strictly on the budget. So essentially, I fortunately covered myself. This is why you need to do a lot of stuff and repeat yourself. So I got
you. Hold on. Look.
I've already said this before. There
you go.
I've already said this before.
In case y'all didn't know, Corey talks about the budget at minimum once a month. That's like the minimum, and that's the floor, okay? And I'm sure it pops back up, pretty much every episode. Right?
Once every 10 minutes. But yes, Fortunately, I was just discussing the budget. I was making some funny stuff in there, though. So it's like, I can't get it back because it was muted. So, like, it's all gone. But fortunately, it was just the budget stuff. So, you guys have that on plenty of episodes. And I got into all the, general updates about the tax stuff. So
I know somebody was 19 minutes in, like, huh? Like, I know you trying to talk to me.
Shout out to Gemma. I mentioned a couple of people reached out, but I just mentioned Gemma because she made actual YouTube comments. It's on there. But thank you, Gemma, or her husband. I don't know who actually did it, right? Same account, it's a different person, but thank you for letting me know, even though I saw it way late. But thank you for letting me know, so I didn't record, like an hour and a half on mute. And then one of my other mans texted me as well. But if y'all don't know what y'all see right now, the video, that's my phone, and then the audio is coming from my computer. Yes, I know I don't have to set up all the way yet. When am I going to do it? Don't worry about that. But my phone's on Do Not Disturb while I'm recording. So yeah, so I didn't get that text right away. I didn't see that till afterwards, but I appreciate people looking out stuff like that. But it is what it is.
But before we go any further, for our first time listeners, we talk about health and fitness and
finances
and everything in between.
And we want to make sure you save more and say less.
And keep making better your best.
Yes. Also for the disclaimer, don't sue me, sue your mama. This is for entertainment purposes only. You need to do your own research. You said what?
I'm just echoing you. Go ahead, keep going.
Oh yeah, I made I started saying it for Wealth Wednesday. Don't sue me, sue your mama, right? Do your own research. No investment advice, no fitness advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only. You need to do your own Google checks or TikToks or whatever you do to gain information. This is just for entertainment purposes. Now,
remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, rate, review. We need all that. Put us in the group chat. We want all the smoke. It is a new year. We got new topics. We coming with the same energy, just bigger. Okay, so we want it all. We want all the smoke. This is the year. I know we say this all the time, but this is gonna be the year where we actually get some guests in here. We're gonna have y'all pull up y'all mint and show us your budget, and I'm gonna need to see if you can do more push-ups than me. This is that year. Okay, we've been working up to it. This is the year. Don't come on here with the smoke if you ain't ready to do what we need to do. All right. But saying all that to say, please like, share, rate, and subscribe. We are available on all major podcasting platforms, including Amazon, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Am I missing something?
The main one, Apple.
Yeah, apologize. Apple Podcasts. All right, you name it, we're probably on there. Cordan in full effect. Search us, please. Make sure you leave us some rates, reviews.
Yes, you can't. You cannot forget Apple, because the reason podcasts are called podcasts.
Because of Apple.
Yes, because of the iPod. So I'm just, if there's ever, these are the things where you realize, like, this is probably a question on a game show that win you some money. This would be the question. It's just so simple. It's like, oh yeah, Apple if they're gonna put their name on something, they're gonna put their name on something. But yes, and then also as well, our contact information. I'm silent_Cory. Jordan is
Stop Stalling J. That's STOPSTALLINGJAY. Business page FinallyFit06. That's FINALLFIT06 on most major social media platforms. Put it in there. If I pop up, I pop up. If not, try something different. All right.
Yep. And then the website is
FinallyFit.live. That's www.finallyfit.live. I was going to spell out again, but I'm not going to.
I would say Jordan is a speller, and all this information is in the show notes or the description on YouTube where you can find us. However, Jordan is doing something. I mean, it's the start of the new year, but Jordan's doing something for FinallyFit. What are you doing, bro?
Yes, sir. We are now integrating in a beginner class. So for those who don't know, I'm already offering a virtual subscription a month. So what is it? On a monthly basis. So what does that mean? My current class is now my intermediate and advanced class, or not, I want to say current because they're both now current, but my previously ongoing classes going into the new year is now my intermediate and advanced class. They've been around long enough that they've been putting into work. So they're going to continue to do so on Mondays and Wednesdays at 5:30 a.m. But for my new and upcoming folks, we want to get you in the door. If you think of like, oh man, I'll be seeing some of that stuff you do on IG, Jordan, that's a little bit much. I don't know if I can do that. We're going to have a beginner course on Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 6 a.m. to 6:30, right? So the goal is to have all the classes finished at the same time throughout the week. For my beginners, you are going to start at 6 a.m. to 6:30. We're going to come in, we're going to get some work. Okay, you're going to do some of the same motions. It'll be modified. It'll be slightly less intensive, but you're still going to sweat. So that's Tuesday and Thursdays for the beginner course. All right, and that is also at a reduced rate because you are a beginner. You don't get, you didn't have to work, so you get half the price. It is $30 a month. Okay, that is $30 a month for the beginner course. That's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 a.m. from 6 to 6:30. All right, so come get it in with us. Again, if you were questioning it before, I just made it easy for you. Come see me. All right, thank you.
And then I was going to say, so outside of obviously the classes, right, being on Tuesday and Thursday, what else are they getting for the reduced price? They still get access to the drive, monthly check-ins. Yes, what else?
So literally everything else. The only thing is just half the course time. So you're getting the virtual library. So we record for people who don't know, we record all our previous classes. So you have access to all those classes that you can use at any given time to get some extra work in. You're still getting a monthly one-on-one check-in with me where we set your goals using the SMART directive, specific, measurable, achievable, reward, time, external resources. That's my version of SMART method. I know there's some changes on there. That's what we do. All right. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna set your goal, have some milestones that we set throughout the month, and you're going to continue to work towards that goal. Okay. So again, that subscription comes with everything that the The advanced and intermediate class comes with, except you get half the class time. That don't mean you're not gonna sweat. I promise you. We get through. As Corey can tell you, we get to work in. All right. You come to class, it's my job to make you sweat. You're gonna leave there little sweaty. All right. Gotcha.
All right. And
also, I'm sorry, just since we're already on the topic, we are starting off the new year. First of all, Happy New Year. It probably be past the new year when you listen to this, but it's the new year right now while we're recording it. Okay, so Happy New Year. We starting off 2023 with a bang with our 120 miles in 120 days. All right, so what that means is a challenge that is available on the Nike Run Club app. I'll make sure I give it to Corey so we can put the link in the description or the show notes below. You can sign up and start with us at any time. So don't feel discouraged if you've already missed a couple of days. But it is 120 miles that we are trying to run, walk, jog, crog, whatever you need to do, move in 120 days. So I got out and got mine this morning. I'm already 2.34 miles in. Okay, we're gonna do something that's consistent. We're gonna set a sustainable, healthy lifestyle pace. All right, so don't get out here and try to be Olympian unless that's what you do. All right, get out here, get some work in, stay consistent, and we're gonna get it in and have fun while we do it. Have some accountability. Also, for people who weren't listening, I did put out a video that kind of said this, but in case you missed it yesterday, I am giving away a prize to the fastest male and the fastest female competitor. It is going to be one free month of your the advanced class for a virtual month of subscription. So you come in, you get your work for free. All right, so that'll be the winner. Will get that prize in May, considering we're doing 120 days. So it's from January 1st, 2023 to May 1st, 2023. But I'll have the winner calculated by then. So the fastest male and female will get a free month virtual subscription to our class or the cash value equivalent. So for whatever reason, you're like, dang, Jordan, I just ran 120 miles. I don't want to come here. All right, well, I'll give you the money for it. But that's not how we trying to get down. We want you to come. All right, we want you to show up. I'm assuming if you're out here getting it in and you the fastest, you're going to want to get some extra work in anyway. Okay? So 120 miles, 120 days. Please check that out. It'll be in the show notes, or you can check it out on any of the socials. I got it in my bio on Instagram, and I posted it on several posts in Facebook. All right.
All right. Shout out to the advertisements. There's one place you're gonna do it's on your own platform. I was gonna and see I'm a terrible person because I listened. You said it's gonna be the first person, the first male and the first female, but I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Look. Listen. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm terrible. I'm a terrible person. I don't care. But look, I just be having so many questions. Oh my goodness. All right.
Please don't do it, Corey. Okay.
All right, and then for my financial coaching,
it's gonna be two people. All right. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. I need to
what does two mean? No. So for my financial coaching, I don't know what I'm doing this year. When I say that, I be trying to be respectful, but then inflation is inflation, but the prices are still going to stay the same. So it's still going to be $50 for 1 1-hour session a month, and then $100 for up to 1 1-hour session a week. So you get 4 sessions in a month. That's all I'm going to say, exactly the same. So, but look, I don't want to hear that when I raise the prices again. Okay,
you had your chance. You had your opportunity. All right. Yes,
I highly recommend you tap in before they increase again, because the great thing about them increasing for me is that I don't do anything different. So
listen, it's only what y'all gotta realize, right? When it comes to all these services that we offer, it's only 24 hours in a day. All right. And unfortunately for me, some of my services are one-to-many, but Corey got that one-to-one coaching. All right, you gotta lock in.
Okay? Yeah, it's just me. Limited. yeah. I don't. I mean, the most other information, quote unquote, would be the stuff that we do on the podcast platforms and our YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe as well. But outside of that, like if you want something personal, you have to get on the time. Then I'm married, so I have less time now. So it's like,
look, he got half the time he had before, and half of that time it is. So.
Yes.
Welcome to the club, man. It's awesome,
so please tap in. Also, it's 2023, and so for us 93 babies, y'all know what that means. This is the 30 year, so everybody is turning freaking 30 this year. That I know, literally almost everyone. So. I already had, for people that got, birthdays in the beginning of the year, I already had 2 30th birthdays planned, last year that I had to go to. I'm like, we're not even, my man's birthday 2 weeks, the party is 2 weeks from today, but I'm just like, God dang. He told me, I'm getting hit up for a plan, next year before Christmas. I'm like, wait, we still gotta go to Christmas. Oh man. So that's just all to say, like, this is going to be
You saying that now? Let me go ahead and shoot you my party details because keep May open. Keep May open.
Did I not send the squad? Did I not send in the squad group chat? I gotta find that message. I said, I would look. Send me the message if you're gonna do something. Please let me know. I literally the only months that I don't already have something planned for are May, June, July, and August, and that's with knowing that your birthday is in May.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm just saying though.
I'm just letting you know. Go ahead and block May off. Go ahead and block that thing.
I got something. I mean, I got a wedding to go to. Already got 2 30th, and that's excluding the other 10, 12, 15 people that are turning 30 that I know this year. Oh my goodness. So that's all to say. Get on people's schedules. Please respect people's time. Also, take the opportunity when prices are low for people you see just starting out, because the prices do go up, and that's pre-inflation. When people get better, more results, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, look, when I got more clients, debt paid off, it's like, well, now I've actually helped people that aren't my friends. All right, here we go. All right. I'm just, hey, we back. All right. Do you have anything else?
I was just gonna say do a little small intervention for the current event. I mean, it's not really a current event, but again, seeing as the new year, I just want to talk about goal setting real quick. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say, okay, so again, going into 2023, Dave Ramsey did a post about how to set your goals. It had 7 major areas outlined on how to do so, and I was just curious on, for if people hadn't set any goals at all. And let's put it this way: if it's 2023 and you, and again, you was born in '93 and you went on 30 and you haven't started setting goals going into the new year, you definitely need to do so. That's the first thing, right? So if you don't do it, do it. That's the first step. All right. Second step is going to be aligning your goals into these 7 categories. I will try to list them off. Just make sure I don't repeat anything, Corey, if I miss anything. First being financial. I mean, again, these are in no particular order. These are just the categories, right? So, I mean, finances are important, though, so I'm going to start there. Financial being the first. The second being career. Third being intellectual. Fourth being spiritual. Fifth being social. Sixth being family. And what am I missing, Corey? Fitness, of course, physical. 7th being physical. You can't forget that, right? So those are the 7 areas in which you should be setting your goals for 2023. I definitely took that and used that format to lay out some of my goals. So I definitely got it. Let's put it this way: by the time you're finished, you should have at least 7 goals for the 7 areas. You know what I'm saying? I have multiple goals actually for each area, at least 2 to 3 for each one. So I'm kind of somewhere in the, like the 18 to 21 range, you know what I mean? Depending on, some of them got 2, some of them got 3. But I definitely use that. I definitely can say my 2023 plan is looking strong. If you are setting your goals and you don't get a little nervous when you're setting them, you're probably not reaching high enough. Okay. Saying all this to say, it's 2023. We are technically, are we not in the pandemic anymore? Is that what we're doing? We're not in the pandemic, but we are. I mean, COVID's still a thing. Okay. I think it's over. I'm at work. So
have you been?
Let's put it that way. I mean, I ain't at home anymore. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I said the pandemic was over once the student loan forbearance ends. That's when and they keep pushing it back, so it might be in the panorama forever. One other way to check is the annual credit report website. Okay. Because due to the panorama, they said instead of getting you get 1 free credit report from each bureau a year, during the panorama they made it to where you get 1 free a week.
Okay.
So, and that I'm looking at the site right now, it's saying that it's still during the COVID-19 pandemic, right? It's saying it's still up. So.
All right. So we are still in the pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. That's news to me. Look, I don't know,
mask off. We're the future.
Look. So all I'm gonna say is, regardless, you should be lining your goals accordingly and making sure that you shoot for the stars. So if you fall in the clouds, you are still up. Okay. So when I do my goal setting, hey, that's the way I do it. When I do my goal setting, I go hard. I go high. That way, even if I miss that joint by a little bit, I'm still way in a better predicament than which I started. Okay. So that being the case, just make sure you lock in. All right. 2023. You got, look, it's 364 days left. All right. Get it in, lock in, plan accordingly. I'm excited for my goals. Like I said, I was a little nervous in making them, which means that to me, they are a stretch for my capabilities. But I like to think of myself a very capable man. So I mean, those are some good goals to have. All right. Y'all will see them again. Check us out on socials. I will be posting some of my fitness stuff. My first one up for the fitness is actually the 1,000 Pound Club. I'm going to try that within the next week. So hopefully I'll let y'all know how it goes with my next podcast episode. You know what I'm saying? But for people who don't know what the 1,000 Club application is, it is at least 8,000 pounds collectively across bench press, barbell squats, and barbell deadlift. Okay, so that is 333. All that stuff. Repeating pounds per each exercise to get to at least 1,000. So really, it's 333, 333, and 334 across the three. Okay, at least, and it can be more than that, but it's got to be at least that. So I'll be attempting that when we get back to work. I'm gonna try that. I go to the gym on my lunch break for those who don't know. So I will have somebody officially there, and they will be witnessing it, and I get to put my name on the 1,000-pound club on the board. So I'm gonna take a picture of that when it's done. That's my first fitness goal. So we started off in stride. Okay. So that being said, we're getting it in. Corey, did you want to share any of your 2023 goals or no? I mean, it's up to you.
Man, I'm trying to buy a house. So
hey.
No, not this year. I'm saying like it's not many. No, we gotta pay off my wife's car, and then we're saving for a down payment, and then that's about it. I'm gonna try. By try, I mean, attempt to make up, but find a way to max out the Roth IRAs. If I find a way to do that this year, which it went up to 6,500, so 13,000. If I find a way to find $13,000, then
hey, if anybody gonna find it, it's gonna be you.
Hey, man, look,
you not seen it before.
That's right. That's a pre-inflation number. Like, stuff keeps going up. You know what I mean? Like it's like we were talking about offline, but it's like you can continue to adjust. The grocery budget due to inflation just keeps going up and up and up, and it's like, so we'll see. Speaking of the prices, right? So you know what I mean? Like I could just raise the prices and get the money. We'll see. But we gotta pay off our car and then save for the house, and that's pretty much all of this for this year. And then we got all these different events we have to go to this year. I gotta go to Miami, Chicago, birthday, wedding, respectively. So yeah. So I know. Look, yeah. Oh, and all this stuff was told to me last year, so it's not like these people didn't give me a heads up. But it's just like, my goodness, it's time.
Right. Yeah.
So
you gotta actually do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yep. And I was gonna say for those goals, just because I like to give people credit where credit is due, they are the goals that Dave Ramsey posted as far as 7 categories. But there's Zig Ziglar's. Like he created those 7 sections. So I don't want to say, we said that. People. All right.
Zig Ziglar made
it up. Yeah, you good.
Keep me right because I know what I liked, and that was it. No, we good.
No, we're almost 100 episodes in total, and I've already said who it was before, but new people gonna come in, and I'm just gonna gotta say it right now. And then the SMART goals, like Jordan was talking about: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant on the finance side, reward on the fitness side, and then time based. There's no reward on the finance side. I don't know what
the reward is. You keep your money.
You can keep your money. Yeah, so it's not. I mean, I guess reward would be like if you cut back on something, you can go do it, right? Lifestyle, ice cream, stuff like that, But yeah, all right, y'all. So again, if you don't know, last time episode 53 was recorded was some weeks ago. So on the Cordan Full Effect podcast, y'all know we just burned about the first 20 or 30 minutes. Okay, but we've got an update and all these different type of things. Jordan, he has all his energy back. He's trying to get on schedule, and the plan is to do these every other week to see if he can get on that schedule before we do something every week. But again, the Wealth Wednesdays will still be every week. So y'all gonna have something every week. And I still got that student loan and stuff. Student loan thing's gonna be tomorrow, by the way. I was supposed to do it yesterday. I had some stuff come up, so I'm gonna do it tomorrow because technically we're off tomorrow for New Year's. So I'm gonna drop it tomorrow.
Listen, don't worry about it. Them loans ain't going. No, stop. Anyway,
I know.
You got till June.
Look at that. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna talk about the loans, like the forgiveness per se. I'm gonna talk about. I was asking one of my clients a few months ago, but like how the student loan situation, because people complain about it, right? Like the forgiveness has dropped as far as the number, right? And we know they're not forgiving all of it, which means there's still going to be student loans after, even if it does happen. You know what I mean? And so, how do you solve that problem? And it's like, well, how do we make sure it doesn't continue to get created, et cetera, et cetera? Who actually has the most student loan debt? Who complains the most about it? We've had this conversation before, some we worked through on a call before, but it's like, all right, I don't know stuff, but I'm a good guesser. Then I go and research stuff. And I'm like, what's the black lady in paternity court?
Yeah. And then the face start melting. And I know what I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm like, so there, we look at the numbers, in short, quick tidbit, but it's like college tuition does not cost that much. I'm gonna leave it at that. I mean, I looked it up. Like, look at your state college, whatever 50 states you live in. Look at the state school. It's like University of California, Berkeley. That's the state school for California. University of Cal. That's one of the best schools in the whole world. It does not cost that much to go there for tuition if you live in state.
Right.
But
you gotta have all the extras to add on.
Well, look, all right, then, tune in tomorrow when I'm breaking down. So.
Look, college experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the degree don't cost that much. Then what degree did you get? All right, here we go. But all right, you good?
Yes, sir.
All right, locked and loaded. Oh, the soundboard back too. I said I don't got no soundboard. You know.
Hold on. We locked in. So we are going on to the
fitness section.
Let's word.
And also,
power up of the year.
And also for those who don't know, Jordan got a new computer. One of his goals for last year, he checked it off the list. You're not gonna say how much it is, but because hey, we got comp sci degrees over here, so he didn't get a brand new computer. He built one. He built a new computer. Okay, so
I'll send y'all I'll give you the link. I got a time lapse of it and everything. Like it's one of those of computer. So for my nerds out there of computers, this is like the cerebro of home built computer. At least for me, you know what I mean. I didn't build. This is my third one, and this is my crowning jewel. This is gonna be around for at least the next decade. Okay, we put some things in here. All right.
So all that to say that was loud. The intro music is because his new computer just plays the music louder. So.
Oh man!
On a lower volume setting, by the way.
It really does. By a lot.
Yeah. So shout out to technology. But all right, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. First fitness question: how do you hold yourself accountable for running? And is it you as in you, or is it you as in people?
You as in you, as in your,
or is it
yourself.
is it they and them?
Oh, you talking about? It's like, are you talking about you as in me, or is it you as in no?
Yeah.
So yeah, how do okay? Good question. How do you hold yourself accountable for running? So this actually lines up again back to that 120 days. We're kicking off the new year with a nice cardio challenge. So for people who don't know, it's 120 miles and 120 days. You got to get out there and you got to move. It's high impact cardio. All right. I mean, it's if you're jogging. If you're walking, I mean, still a little tension on the knees, but it's not as crazy. The same other to say, it can cause some wear and tear on the body. So you have to do something, do the necessary steps to hold yourself accountable, to stay consistent, to create a healthy, sustainable lifestyle habit, and to get out here and get it done. All right. So here are some tips and tricks and things that you can do to just stay on track when you are trying to hold yourself accountable for running. Because again, I know we're kicking off the new year strong and everybody trying to get some work. All right. So here we go. So first tip is to set specific goals. So again, if you join the challenge, I've kind of helped do that for you, but you can even carve that 120 miles into more specific goals that fit you. And what do I mean by that? So me personally, I can run every day. I'm getting older. Like Cory said, I'm going into that 30 years, so my knees ain't as good as they used to be. But no, I'm gonna try to move every day. So setting specific goals for me, what does that look like? I'm trying to run 2 miles every day. That being the case, I will, if I do that successfully, I will actually double the 120 in 120 days. Or, I mean, I guess the way the app tracks it, I'll finish in half the time, whatever, right? I'll either finish in 60 days or have 240 miles in 120 days, however you want to look at it, right? But if I stay consistent, that's the goal, right? In doing so, what I've actually done is I cover myself for today and tomorrow, right? It's a perfect example. I started the year off. I ran 2.34 miles today. Worst comes to worst, my body's sore and I can't get up and do it tomorrow because, I mean, as you know, I am a fitness trainer, fitness instructor. Shout out to www.FinallyFit.live. Check us out. But I got classes going on throughout the week. I actually just doubled my class load because I have now an intermediate class and a beginner class. So some of those days, needless to say, I might not feel like running. And running 2 miles, I've actually covered myself for today and tomorrow because I will have class tomorrow. We don't care that it's the new year. We're going to get out here and get this work, okay? So January 2nd, 5:30, I will be up instructing. So having that 2 miles, I have actually had that extra mile in my pocket. So I'm still on pace for my original goal, which is 120 miles in 120 days. You see what I'm saying? So saying all that to say, set a specific goal that works for you. And yours doesn't have to be 2 miles a day. You can do 2 miles every other day. So that will actually line up. So it's 120 miles in 120 days. You can do 5 miles across 20, what's that, 24 attempts? Is that right? Track my math, Corey. Okay, 5 miles across 24, across 24 attempts across the 120 miles in 120 days.
Somebody's at your door. Shout to that's Alexa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, shout out to technology. Also, a whole bunch. I've been listening to enough podcasts, not to derail, but like stuff be happening. Like just keep, keep pushing. But yeah, you said so 5 miles and 5 miles a day, so that's 24.
Correct.
For the math, right?
Yeah, 5 miles a day, so that's 24. Again, so so saying all that, you can adjust and do what you need to do, but you want to set a specific goal to create your sustainable, healthy lifestyle habits. Because the goal with all this, right, is to set a routine. You want to create something that you can do and repeat, and then it becomes less strenuous, less of a task, right? To show yourself that you can be consistent and you can do it daily, right? And that's part of the reason, actually, why I know it's gonna sound real cliche, like, oh yeah, we lined up with the new year, but we actually lined it up with the winter because the winter is the hardest season. If you can get outside and run, and this is just my opinion, if you can get outside and run and it's cold, when the summer comes around, it's gonna be light where you got less clothes. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a little warmer, but if you're hydrating properly in the winter, you'll be fine. If you can put yourself on the highest level of difficulty, you know what I mean, when you start, the rest of the year is cake. You know what I'm saying? So saying all that to say, set specific goals, stick with those goals, and stay consistent. That is tip 1. All right. Going into the next one, tip 2, make a plan. So what you want to do, when I say make a plan, you want to plan out when and where you will run each week and try to stick to a consistent schedule. Again, we're going back and we're circling back to the routine portion of this. You want to get as close to a 24-hour form factor as possible. If you're going to be doing this daily, or I guess whenever your interval is, but for me, I am going to be doing this on a 24-hour basis. So I try to run at a time which is conducive to where I can repeat that run at the same time every day. Okay. So I am a morning person when it comes to working out, right? So I teach, but I also teach class in the morning. So I gave myself a primary and a backup option for running. So I'm either going to, my class is at 5:30. I'm either going to get up at 4:30 and knock my mileage out prior to class to get it out the way. So by the time I'm done with teaching class, I'm done with all things fitness by 6 o'clock. 6:30. Okay. So that's my window, but that's clearly not what I did today. I actually ran at lunchtime today, which is my backup option. So for whatever reason, if I don't wake up in time, I'm just not feeling it, I'm too tired, classes, I'm anticipating a heavy workout for class, my backup option is to run for lunch, because that is what I do. If I, for whatever reason, I miss my morning window, lunchtime is my backup window. So I basically give myself 2 opportunities to work out throughout the day. And if I don't catch it on the first time, I'll definitely catch it on the cleanup, which is the second time. And I'm usually good to go, right? So you want to make a plan. So that being said, that's how I work, right? You want to make a plan that's suitable for you, your schedule, where you can do the same thing. Create a routine on your interval. So if you're running, going back to maybe you're not running every day, but you're running every other day. So that means you have a 2-day interval, right? So if you want to run in the morning, you can run in the morning on, day 1. Maybe you run again on day 2. But if you don't want to, if you want to rest on day 2, that's fine. Run again in the morning on day 3. But again, the point is to create a sustainable, healthy lifestyle habit, a routine, a plan, and stick to that plan and execute accordingly. Okay. When you execute your plan, it actually is. There's some mental warfare that actually happens with that. You actually become more motivated, make it easier to fit running into your schedule. Okay. So getting up and telling yourself like, okay, it's almost like anticipating the mountain, right? If I know that I got to run at 5:30 every day, I got, X amount of hours throughout the day to kind of get myself motivated that when I wake up, I get it in. I also highly advise, if you are not a morning person, to maybe try to be a morning person, right? Getting it in the morning, getting your workout in the morning, actually, it helps you limit excuses. You kind of get the to me, what might be the hard, I don't know what you do, but the hardest part of your day out the way, right? For me, running is the hardest part of my day. Cardio is everybody's going to go to the gym and get on the benches and the squat racks and lift and, pick up the weights. I guarantee you, and I'm not saying that the cardio equipment will be empty, because the people who's been using the cardio equipment will continue to use the cardio equipment. So it'll look like, it's full all the time, but those are the same people that's going to be there all year. Everybody skips the treadmill and goes straight to the bench, and they want to, get real big chests and go to the squat rack and get real big quads. Nobody wants to work on their lungs and, their cardiovascular system. Okay, the cardiorespiratory. All right, you just y'all skip that part. So saying all that to say, this is the hard part. Get the mountain out the way. Get up in the morning. Get it done. All right. So that's tip 2. Make a plan.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need to get the David Goggins. I put in our group chat. We get the David Goggins soundboard. Stop being a bitch or any type of that stuff. Anything he says related to that, any of that type of stuff. Because sometimes his videos, I just wish they wouldn't like. He has the lead up to it. And it's his story. I'm not saying it's an issue, but like I'd be wishing on my stories I could get that part and be like, stop being a bitch. Because one story he said that he was telling somebody emailed or something like that, messaged them, and it was like 30 seconds in, so passing the 15 seconds time window, and then he was just like. And I was thinking to myself, this guy doesn't need to stop being a bitch. And that's how it is for people, you know, who are. I'm not David Goggins, you know, he's top tier, like because he's also trained, like Kelly's Navy SEAL on range, but like the general mindset. I'm just be like, I be listening to your story, but then that be the next response to be like, it's how you need to stop being a bitch. That's what it's.
Oh gosh, this I've been telling my client. Okay, look, you honestly. So and I will say every person that is intrinsically motivated, that is their underlying mood, right? Ultimately, we're gonna say a lot of things. We're gonna do our best to try to encourage you, but if none of that works, ultimately it's the Goggins approach. Stop being a bitch. Real talk. Like I mean, you either gonna get up and do it or you're not. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make the change, you want to see the results that you want to see, get up and move. Stop making excuses. Stop. You know what I'm saying? You're enabling yourself to sit on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Get up and move.
Right. I'm gonna find I'm pretty sure Jazz the rapper said this. So I gotta find the battle line where she said something stop touch these lines via suicides. Like and they don't call them that no more, but for those of us who ran actual suicides by term, it's like, bro, you better touch this line.
Look.
You can run it again if you want to.
Exactly. Not with your ankle, with your hand too. Get down there. Look, we ain't playing. All right.
Oh my goodness. But okay, so that's tip 2. Make a plan. I got the note. Like I said, there's probably multiple of David Goggins calling somebody a bitch, so we got to figure out which one.
It's a plethora. There's a variety.
All right. But that was tip 2 though. So now on to tip 3.
Yes, sir. Tip 3. We are going to track your progress. Okay. So that is tip 3. Again, if you are participating in the 120 miles in 120 days, I have made this easy for you. We are tracking all of our progress in the Nike Run Club app. Okay. That is available. I think it is agnostic across all the phone platforms. So it should work on Android, should work on iOS. Okay. But you want to track your progress. So using a tracking app or a journal to record your runs and track your progress allows you to see your progress over time. It can be a great motivator to keep going. All right. So again, mental warfare here, because again, so what people don't realize is all these fitness journeys, fitness goals, particularly with this question, holding yourself accountable while running, is a marathon, not a sprint. Like, and not literally, but it is just given the time and the mileage, right? Nobody that I know can run 120 miles in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that being the case, we just mentioned David Goggins. He's top tier elite. You know what I mean? He's in that category. He might be able to do it. Again, nobody that I know can run 120 miles in a day, right? So
my bad. I think it's probably physically possible in the sense of like it's from a time standpoint, but yeah, because the fastest, not the fastest, but miles from 4 minutes, right? That world record movie or whatever. Yeah. So 4 minutes times 120. Right, whatever that is. So you just got to not die.
Yeah, literally, so people like David Goggins. There's people called like hybrid athletes, which are basically people who excel in strength training as well as extreme versions of cardio. So people like Nick Bear, David Goggins. Shout out to my boy. There's actually Ethan Schmidt, somebody I went to school with. He's a hybrid athlete, and they do basically extreme versions of strength training as well as cardio. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about like the lowest they run is like 5 to 10 miles a day. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that being the case, when they tackle these feats, they run, half marathons, marathons, they do triathlon. You know what I'm saying? They do these large things. So saying all to say, I've actually watched a video clip where somebody ran, I think it wasn't one person, it was 3 people, and they split 100 miles and they did it in 24 hours. It was just like, it was basically like a long ass relay. But yeah. So saying all to say, it's possible. People will be getting it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm seeing the fastest marathon ever is 2 hours, 1 minute and 9 seconds. So that's 26 miles. And then you just got to do that, roughly speaking, 5 more times. So that's 10 hours. So you
Right.
get 12, you get a 14-hour break. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
that's two people who even Jordan not fused together wouldn't even been able to
listen.
wouldn't even been able to wouldn't even be able to snip this. But from a logical standpoint, it's possible to do. So
Shout out.
don't
to one
do
of
it,
the
by the way, though.
challenges
Do not kill yourself. We're not promoting you trying to run 120 miles in a day. Let's be very clear.
As one of the challenges I think that I've seen Goggins do or like put out there or have seen other people do, is I think it's the 4x4x4. So it's 4 miles. It's 4 miles every 4 hours for I think it's 48 hours if I remember correctly. So it's 4x4x48. So it's literally 2 days nonstop. Every 4 hours you run 4 miles and you get it in. And shout out again, I got some friends that I went to high school that have completed that, and that is a task itself. If you don't know, 4 miles isn't long, but it's not short. But by the time you get, every 4 hours, so again, 24 hours in a day, there's 6 times that you have to run 4 miles for 2 days. So by the time the first day is over, you didn't run 24? Is that right? Yeah, you ran 24 miles. So but I think I'm good for the first 8 hours. By the third set, I'm cramping. You know what I mean? Like it's so that is a lot, right? Again, it's the ultimate test of stamina and endurance. You got to put some work in mentally and physically to be able to do that. But bringing it all full circle, track your progress. Okay. Ultimately, if you're starting out on this new fitness journey and you're trying to run and hold yourself accountable, you're starting off from a point of motivation, but ultimately you want to get to a point of discipline. And the way you do that is by setting your goals, tracking your progress. The tips that I'm giving you right now, you need to transition from motivation to discipline. Motivation is, I feel good. I want to do this. I'm doing great. Motivation is probably going to last you through the month of January. All right. I'm not going to hold y'all. The first 30 days, everybody's motivated, right? We're going to still see who's running in February, March, April. That's when the discipline kicks in. Okay. Because, oh man, my legs hurt. Well, I did 30 miles. That's 30 miles more than I did last year. Don't quit. Your goal is 120 miles. In 120 days. Stick it out, lock in. Now you see why I say set those sustainable paces, all right? Because after 30 days, it's a little wear and tear on the body, but you got to stick it out. That's what we're going to do, all right? Apps to track your progress other than Nike Run Club. You can use apps. So shout out to Apple Fitness. You can, if you got, everybody pretty much has an Apple Watch now. If you don't, you have some form of watch with whatever phone that you have. I think Samsung Watch does it too, but you can track your mileage in those native databases on those platforms. What other app is? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank.
Fitbit.
Fitbit, thank you. Fitbit. I know there's plenty of those on the Nike Run Club. There's one.
Amazon has a watch, I think.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. There's one that if you're training for a marathon, I know that I had to ask my constituents, and I'll correct that in the air clean up for the next one. But yes, there are several app tracking for progress that you can use. Okay, but Nike is the one that I tend to look to. I always go with the ones that I feel like that are the most well known, and of course that are intuitive for users. That being said, we do have some issues sometimes with Nike. Please, if you're in the challenge, I put this in my other video, but don't yell at me. Okay, I do not work for Nike. I am a software developer, but I'm not a software developer for Nike Run Club. Okay. Yes, some of the stuff is clunky. Yes, it could be written better. Can I change it? Absolutely not. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Honestly, if you plan on running these 120, you really need to plan on running 130 because 10 of those miles are going to get lost in translation. And I'm just telling you now. Okay. I'm sorry. That's how it works. You're going to forget to hit the stop button. Nike's going to say, these miles don't count, and you're going to have to do them again. That's just how it goes. I apologize in advance. All right. But that is tip 3. We good on that? All right.
Yep, we good.
About to wrap up these last 2 points. Tip number 4, find an accountability partner. One of the main, I don't say weaknesses, but the main points of failure, let's put it that way, for a fitness journey, particularly cardio-based fitness journeys, especially the people who are not accustomed to them, are doing it alone. A lot of people do not want to start new journeys, period, but particularly in fitness by themselves. So finding an accountability partner will help you stay motivated to continuously get your cardio in. And what do I mean by that? You can do a long distance accountability partner. So again, if you're participating in the challenge, accountability partner, I'm right here. Look, I'd smile for you one time. I'm going to be on the internet as much as I can be. I refuse to go live while running because that's bad form. But when I'm finished, I will wrap it up. Usually during my cool down, I'll get on live, give you guys a couple of words of encouragement, just to let you know you are not out here by yourself. I'm gonna be out here every day, God willing, that God allows me to wake up in the morning. I'll be out here getting it in because I don't commit to stuff that I'm not going to finish. So I'll be here. So if it's 4:30, 5:30, you'll see my live. I'm on there. I'll be documenting as much as I can, and I'll be on there. That being said, I might miss a day, but that don't mean I'm missing the mileage. Okay. But that being, I will be. You'll see some form of me posting my mileage up there, whether it's a live video, a screenshot on my story, with the mileage. That's the difference in mileage from the day before. But that I will be on there. So I'm your virtual accountability partner. If you are participating in a challenge and you have somebody in your household who's participating in the challenge with you. So a perfect example for me, my wife is also doing the challenge. My wife is the perfect accountability partner. She will get out there and run with me. She might not run the same distance, but she will at least start with me and she will finish at her own pace. Because just because you are running together doesn't necessarily mean you have to run the same thing. But you do need somebody to get up and ensure that you are going to move. That's just going to give you that little nudge that says, hey, you committed to this. Come on, let's go get it in. Lace them up. Look, as Cory says all the time. Well, look, you got to lace them up. Fourth quarter, who gonna work? You know what I'm saying? I need my team to be shooting. You need to shoot the same way, if not better, in the fourth quarter than you did in the first. We lacing them up over here. Okay. So I'm your virtual accountability partner. You can find if you have a significant other and they're committed with you, that could be your accountability partner. If you just have a community accountability partner. So sometimes there are local run clubs. I know in DC, shout out to Black Men Run. There's a community club right there where you can sign up and go run with them. They have specific times, specific meetups that they run. Again, in our area, we're in the DMV, but I'm particularly in Harper County, which is 30 minutes away from Baltimore. I know they used to run when it was warm on Tuesdays at 5:30. They would meet. The location is eluding me right now, but they would meet in a parking lot and run around the city. They usually get anywhere from 3 to 5 miles in, depending on which run group you're in, but that's an accountability group. So there are some groups out here, and depending on where you live at, that are going to move, right? Find them, sign up with them. A lot of them are free. If there is a paid membership version, it's usually to get you some free, some swag. So stupid wild ass gifts, get you some gear, some some shirts, some shoes, some discounts and stuff. So sign up for those. But there are various accountability partners out here. Again, you get me for free. You should get your significant other for free. You know what I mean? But everybody else might cost some change, but get out here and move with somebody. Okay. So that'll keep you motivated and keep you both on track and allow you to also create a routine, because if you do have an accountability partner, that means you have to coordinate with each other to meet up to run. Okay. So that being the case, consistency, routine, see how all these things tie in together. All right. So that is tip 4. And last but not least, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm sorry. I got 2 more. I said 5. It's 6. So last one, reward yourself. Set up a reward system for yourself to celebrate your progress and accomplishments. I know we are doing 120 miles in 120 days, but that being said, that is 4 months. So you already have natural boundaries set within the 120 miles, 120 days. At the end of January, if you lock it in, so let's just say you're doing an all-encompassing fitness journey and not just doing cardio, right? So for this one is, it's particularly cardio based. But for me, I've also tightened up. It's the new year, right? So I've also tightened up. I go into my cut on January 1st. So I tightened up my diet to go with it. So I'm now in a caloric deficit. I was in a caloric surplus all the way up until this morning. Now we back on I do intermittent fasting, back on taking in, less carbs and more protein. That being the case, that, so I'm on a diet in addition to running more, in addition to upping my classes throughout the week. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of fitness factors that are happening at the same time. So that can have a lot of wear and tear on the body. So me personally, I am going to set some rewards for myself. I make it all the way through January and I'm able to manage all these new aspects of fitness in my life. I might reward myself with, little pasta. I might take myself to the cheesecake factory, you know what I'm saying? Give me some macaroni and cheese balls, little chicken parm on the side, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. All right. It is okay. You can step off the wagon, don't fall off the wagon. That's what I tell people. You fall off the wagon, you don't get back on. You hurt yourself. You stay down there for a while. Okay. You step off the wagon, it's a choice. You're gonna make a choice, reward yourself, get back on for the long haul. Okay. So reward yourself. And then last but not least, tip number 6. Don't be too hard on yourself. And this is one I think that I even had to take a lesson from every now and then. Do not be too hard on yourself. This is a new journey. This is something that's new to you. If you don't move, if you went from not moving at all to doing this challenge of 120 miles in 120 days, that's a huge step. Okay. It is okay to not be, Alice and Felix out here, you know what I mean, getting these miles in. All right. Um, we're not Olympians. We're regular people with regular jobs, with regular lives, trying to get it in and be the best versions of ourselves that we can be, getting better on a daily basis. Do not beat yourself up if you are not running as fast as you want to run, if you're not doing the distance that you want to run. Because again, part of creating these sustainable, healthy lifestyle habits and setting up this whole practice is for you to get better, right? So for me personally, I did not run my best time today. It's okay. What people don't track is running on that treadmill is not the same as running outside. It's a completely different atmosphere when you get out here and hit this pavement versus when you hit that treadmill. That's not to take anything away from my treadmill runners. I'm just letting you know there are additional factors that take place outside versus when you hit that treadmill. It's different wind out there. So I did not run my fastest mile today. But guess what? I got up, I did it, I finished it, I came back, and I'm still kicking, and I'll be back out there tomorrow. So don't be too hard on yourself. It is okay to say, hey, I didn't get my best result today, but I did it. So, approach is everything when it comes to these long journeys, especially when it comes to running. And it's glass half full, not glass half empty. You know what I mean? You give yourself credit for doing what you did today instead of realizing or nitpicking what you didn't do. Okay? So that is tips number 6. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's even okay, and I say this sparingly because a lot of people will take this and run with it. It's even okay to have a day where if you're on your interval and you miss a day, it's fine. Get back on. The 120 miles for 120 days is made so you can do a mile a day. What does that mean? Most people do more than a mile when they run. And I'm not saying that to say that you can't do a mile a day. You can, but I don't know anybody. The average pace for a mile, it varies for age and, age, weight, and gender, you know what I'm saying? But even if you walk the mile, my slowest walking mile is 20 minutes. And I'm talking about that's like if I stop to tie my shoe and you know what I mean? Like I'm chilling, I got the baby, you know what I mean, got the dog. It's 20 minutes, all right? So 20 minutes a day. You feel me? That being the case, you if you missed one of those days, you can double up one of those other days. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to take the time if you don't feel like it today. Add the 20 minutes to the next day. But don't shortchange yourself. You still got to hold yourself accountable to the goal. 120 miles in 120 days. How you get there is up to you. All right. You just don't want to make a habit of missing days. I always tell myself my personal rule is the rule of 48 hours. I don't go more than 2 days without doing some form of cardio. That's me personally. So if I run today and I ultimately I'm planning on running tomorrow. Let's be clear. But if I don't and I don't feel up to it, I have to run no later than Tuesday because that's the rule of 48 for me. You know what I'm saying? So no more than 48 hours apart. Because again, I don't check out one of those older episodes where we're talking about how long it takes for your body to start reversing, and you start seeing the results of not doing anything or being static in your activity. It's 2 days, right? So for me personally, I don't go longer than 2 days because I don't want I don't take any steps backwards, not on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So run on Sunday. If I don't run on Monday, run on Tuesday. Then if you run on Tuesday, if you have to take Wednesday off, okay, run on Thursday. But rule of 48. All right, keep that with you. And that is it.
All right. You give yourself a round of applause. I don't have access to sound.
You good. I'm a little rusty. Thank you. You're too kind.
All right. Jordan gave you all these 6 tips. We'll obviously wrap up. And then again, shout out to my production. No, but for those of you watching on the YouTube channel, I did post them up. So again, we trying to do the best production we can as possible. Before, if y'all watching on the YouTube channel, if you haven't yet, please hit that like button. Shout out to the YouTube algorithm. Please share and subscribe as well to the YouTube channel. Please leave your comments, questions, and concerns. And for those of you listening on the podcast platforms, please leave those rate and reviews as well. We do see y'all leaving the likes, but continue to leave the likes so more people can leave likes. Okay, don't be selfish with the information. Okay, right. Please help out the algorithm so more people can get this information. Because I don't know how many people out here doing the finance and the fitness type of stuff, but we're gonna leave it at that right now. Okay, we're gonna see y'all and see you in 40. See you in 40. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have anything else? Yep.
No, sir.
You good? All right. Locked and loaded.
Let's go. On to the
finance section.
Let's work. Sorry about that.
Hey, we got
Look. All right, this is my disclaimer. So again, in getting the new computer, I've been moving over some of the sounds from the old computer to the new computer, and some of the sounds. The problem is we have multiple versions of some of the sounds, and so if y'all couldn't tell, like even my power up song isn't the normal power up song. The finance intro isn't the normal finance intro. So I'm gonna clean it up. I promise it's gonna get better. But if y'all hear some different sounds, that's what's going on. So
it's supposed to be that's a triple. That is the sound, by the way, but it's a triple loop of that. So it's a little bit like intro theme music. Shout out to wrestling, shout out to WWE, but it's supposed to be that type of thing. So I was like, wait, there's a slight pause, but it's a slight pause.
Right?
It's not indefinite. Yeah, emphasis on slight. Look up the definition of slight. It means temporary, for a short period of time. I'm just guessing, but that's probably what it means. So but all right, y'all. And build as we fly. We're doing this live, but okay. First finance question.
All right, how to combat people who use religious structure to rationalize debt payoff schemes? Do you want me to read the example as well?
Yeah, you can read the example.
Okay, so one of the examples that was given is Peter Popoff's miracle spring water to anoint checkbooks and bodies, right? So this is, and I'm saying it like that because I feel like this is a touchy subject because it's one of those things where some people, people believe in this and think it works, and I said think it works. Clearly you can tell which side of the fence I stand on, but
what side of the fence do you stand on?
Listen, I don't necessarily. Let me be very clear. I believe in God and I believe in His ability to, lay out a plan for you to relieve yourself of debt. But again, God helps those who help themselves, and I don't necessarily believe in buying a monetary physical item in which I can place on something to relieve my debt.
Wait, this is a physical thing? He's selling this?
Yes, this is an item that you can order. Like you can make a payment. You call a number, you make a payment, and they ship it to you.
This thing right here?
That's that thing right there.
All right. First of all, I know you're saying a touchy subject. Out of all the stuff we've been teasing as far as bringing guests on, speaking about, finances and what it says, from a biblical standpoint, for those of you Christians, right? But from a religious standpoint on how, finances should or should not be conducted. This is right up that alley as far as, in general. This is not on the alley as far as should you spend. I'm going to be very clear. Very, very clear. Don't do this.
Yeah.
All right, 0 out of 10, don't recommend. Now, I want to be clear. When I say 0 out of 10, don't recommend from a non-religious aspect, because then obviously you add in the religious factor. If you understand religion, you kind of do things right on faith. That's the whole point of it, right? You're a believer, in short. So if he's Christian based, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, I don't know, what type, right? But if you believe in Christianity, right, and this is up your alley as far as a particular denomination he's a part of, you subscribe to this, right? Go ahead and do it from a religious standpoint. Financially speaking, this general, shout out to Proverbs, the book in the Bible, but it's like, faith without works is dead. You don't really gotta spend money on miracle spring water or any type of, religious tool to help yourself outside of the Bible. Okay.
Right.
Outside of the religious text in and of itself, from a religious standpoint, I don't understand why you would ever want to spend money on some type of religious tool. And outside of the fact that you're religious and will believe that it'll help you succeed, but I would say there's probably no data, no type of research, anything that shows you that this actually works. But see, and this is like, touching on religion, but like just the believing in something and manifesting, however you want to look at it, but focusing your energy and your mindset towards something. And so sometimes people need to spend money to get something done, as far as for them to actually succeed. Like as far as you get somebody something free, they're only do something behind, really put in their full effort. Shout out to the student loan debt situation. They won't put in their full effort. They won't truly assess the situation and see what they should actually do to get it done. But some people, by buying this miracle spring water or whatever it is, it will actually keep them, on pace or motivated, discipline, whatever it is, to actually pay off their debt or whatever. Is it just debt or just general financial success?
I think it's general financial success. So I think you're asking, like, okay, so let me be very clear.
Yeah, I know you saw it at 10.
Yeah, I saw it on the late night
sleep
one.
deprived.
Yeah, So this is one of those commercials that comes on like BET at like like from like 2 to like 4 or something on that Saturday night and the Sunday morning type of vibe. And you listen to some of the testimonies that people are purchasing this water, and they say they apply it. Literally, I guess there's directions to it, and they apply it to like their checkbook, or they'll apply it to what something that's symbolic of their finances, right? And they'll get some type of large lump sum of money, or one of their loans will be forgiven, or their house will get paid off, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like what I mean. If that's what works for you, that's cool. I don't necessarily, me or personally, again, don't necessarily believe in purchasing an item to form what am I trying to say, to form my faith, if that makes sense. If I believe God is going to deliver me from a financial aspect, I believe he's going to deliver me from a financial aspect. I don't necessarily believe I need miracle water applied to my every dollar to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But
you'd be probably hard pressed to find us. I don't know every scripture in the Bible. We don't know every scripture in the Bible memorized, but hard pressed to find a scripture that would tie into saying why you should do this. Probably outside of tithing in and of itself, right? But that's not like purchasing a tool or an item, right? That's literally giving your money or your resource, whatever you generate, and then giving it back and expecting God's going to give you that back tenfold. But definitely I would say it works because, again, the same thing where it's like you in all honesty, you don't have to give me any money for financial coaching. You can just take in all the free resources that I give and they're out here on the internet. However, since it's free, you don't really have any sweat equity, no blood, sweat, and tears in the game. You don't have anything, really sewed into it. So you just half-ass it. And then when you actually got to spend some money, then you might actually stick with it and get things done. And then so that's my guess as far as buying any spring miracle water or whatever the heck it is to help yourself out. As far as it like, well, do they? You don't know, but do they when they get it? Do they like sprinkle the water on their checkbook?
Yeah, I mean, so that's what again. There's no like video that I know of like somebody actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? But like, of course, you just see the testimony. Like, yeah. I'm assuming it comes with direction, but people are literally open, standing up in church. You give a testimony, right?
I was gonna say, Jordan and I both grew up. Yeah, we both grew up in church. So I'm gonna be very clear. We're not speaking from like, making fun. No, we both grew up in church. So don't. Yeah. I still pay tithes. Show me your tax return. I'm not the one. So we're just tongue in cheek with it, but yeah,
we are. Yes. So be clear. I love God. You love God. So so that getting that part out the way, they're literally applying the water to their checkbook, or again some form of physical application that's representative of their financial situation. So I think there's one, I applied this or I anointed the door of my house with this water, and I got a call a month later that says my loan for my mortgage was forgiven, or paid in full, or something like that. And it's like, okay. I guess my question is, why do people feel like they need to purchase something? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly right. Yeah, I mean, we black shout to the building fund. But I mean, you pay your tithes and it goes towards something. When you could easily say you're spending money right and with your tithes, and then the preacher is giving you something in return as far as the same general concept where you're spending money in a religious context, and then you're getting something right out of that, like a physical tool. Right. And so, you go up in there, they put the oil on everybody. Right. I mean, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like if you pay, you know what I mean? So, cause they they use your tithe money for, if you buy that stuff. So, it's it's sort of the same thing. And again, I think it's more of it's just the buy-in, literally and figuratively, but the buy-in aspect of it, where when you're actually committing some of your resources more than just your time, you're actually committing something to it. And a lot of people, when they put your money where your mouth is, right? You say you want to pay off debt. Okay, well, you might need to pay for somebody to help you with your finances. I know that sort of sounds counterproductive because you could use that money, right? Right. But you're investing in something, things like that. So I think definitely just on the service level, like, nah, you don't got to spend no money on some miracle spring water. Obviously, he knows what he's doing from a business standpoint because he got more money both of us combined, I would assume, right?
I mean, but there's a market. People are buying it. So we're not saying this to make fun of it, or I think even to chastise it. I just, to to me, I think it's like you were saying, it's counterintuitive. You're spending money to literally get something to help you pay off money. But I guess from a logical or a mental standpoint, you know what I mean? It's like if you, like you said, investing sweat equity or getting, putting some money in a game to, okay, buying this water is helping me realize that I really need to get serious about completing X, Y, and Z, or
Right.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And then, and also too with whenever you tie something in with religion, there's always like, am I being scammed, things like that, right? Because ain't nobody died when the heaven came back, so that's how it worked. So it's one of those things where hey, I always say the issue with religion is not like if God is real or not. It's that there are multiple. Then there was one, whichever one you want to pick, but there was just one. Then you would be stupid not to do it because the risk. It's literally it's an eternity play. But but since there are so many, it's like you got to pick the right one.
And that's the thing. So then we start. Okay, so now we're crossing boundaries.
Now we're deviating.
So we're here. We're here. So okay. So and it's just me again. I'm a Christian background. I'm non-denominational. That's just me. You know what I mean? But so saying all that to say, do you believe in that because your religion is right that all other religions are wrong? Because that's.
And this is where I gotta finish reading the Bible, and there are all the different versions now. But and I'm gonna get slammed because I can be extremely wrong. You know what I mean? I'm like going out.
We both could. This is always a touchy subject to just dive into off the top. Anyway,
To my knowledge, it's not that no other, from a Bible standpoint, right? It's not that there are no other gods exist. It's that it's the God in the Bible is the highest one.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense. So essentially, it's Zeus.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? So like Zeus is the God of the gods. Right now, obviously, you got Jesus, Holy, you got the Holy Trinity. Although I've been told that they're trying to make the Holy Trinity the Holy Duo and take out the Holy Spirit, but that's way out my realm of expertise. But hence why I want to have my mans come on, talk about this type of stuff and tie it on in with the finances. But God has multiple names and things like that. But to my knowledge, I mean, obviously there are other deities or other supernatural beings, right? You got angels, right? So you got God and you have angels, right? And Satan is an angel. Right. Or so demons are the same thing, but good and bad. So then you have Jesus, and then you have the Holy Spirit. So there are other spiritual, non-human type of beings, right, than just God. But he is, the Alpha and beginning and end, Alpha and Omega. So in my eyes, that's the general concept. And one of my friends, he's like, you want I think, and again, I'm not well versed in Buddhism, but I think like if Buddha's not going to send nobody to hell.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's one of the things. It's like I think people say like with an atheist, it's like if you believe in the devil, then you have to be in God. Because I think when people forget how adjectives work, two things have to exist. There's no such thing as good if evil doesn't exist, right? You need something bad for good. So it's like, I mean, there's got to be, if you don't believe in God, but you believe in Satan, it's like, well, there has to be something opposite of that to, sort of show you how it kind of works. And I always say, I mean, I said this on here many times, God made hell for a reason. Look, God don't play. God will burn you forever. That's what he said.
You ain't lying.
Hey, look. God literally said he told you how to get to heaven, but he also told you how to get to hell too. And nobody want to talk about that. Nobody was talking about how God will send you to hell, not like how Satan will come into play, right, and do all these things. But if you don't do what God said to get into heaven, then by definition, okay, now it's too logical. That's not a Satan thing. That's a God. That's God. Yeah. I'm not even getting God may say this, but it's like, or Lucifer, right? But it's like, God don't be playing. God flooded the earth. I'm just saying, like he got rid of all the humans. And I think it's
that Old Testament God is not playing. Look, capital God. Look, he's not playing.
Look, you ain't got to get up out of Genesis to see. I'm not, I think that I bring it up on here, and this is not what happened, but when you just read the Bible, but God killed a man for pulling out. He didn't do it because he pulled out, but that's what happened. What happened is he was supposed to continue the family bloodline. And sure, I'm summarizing the Bible. Oh God. All right, said, oh my goodness. But he's supposed to continue the family bloodline because his brother died and he didn't, so he pulled out and then got killed.
Listen,
but you
he's not the one.
Yeah. Look, I be trying to let people know God don't play. And then I it's not Michael Eric Dyson. It's the is it Michael DeGrace Tyson? No. Who is it? No, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And he said like do aliens exist or not? And he was saying, think about it as far as how humans interact with ants. Like we're just like so far, and ants are actually pretty smart, but just as far as the size and things like that, it's like we don't even go about our day interacting with ants, anything like that. And if we do something to mess up their day, we literally don't even care. Like it's not even our conscious or subconscious mind. And that could be like sort of with the aliens, right? Like they not even, what if we are ants to them? And it's sort of like we're trying to understand religion. It's like, well, he is a guy. He not a human. Like he got stuff to do. You know what I mean? If the theory is he made everything, like
you know, but stuff you got to manage. Look,
yeah. If the theory, and then also too, our perception is like on a human mindset of being able to do everything. Like you can't even perceive what he can do because it's on literally not a god like. It is a god thing. Like it's not god like because it is God. Right, type of thing. Right. So it's like, God gonna do what he gonna do for people believing that. And I don't be trying to like trip and worry about it because people be trying to, say who is wrong. Like with the Kanye West stuff. I'm like, what you gonna do if Kanye West in heaven when you get there? Tell God he was wrong? You gonna be mad at God?
I think that was part of my approach to it, right? So my personal interpretation is like, why are we so worried about trying to interpret who's wrong versus trying to live the best way we can live? You know what I mean? To what we believe is right? Like, why does yours have to be wrong for mine to be right? Does that make sense? I can believe what I believe, you believe what you believe, and then again, we'll see who up there when we get there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think.
Go ahead. My bad.
Sorry, I was gonna say I don't necessarily think my job is to turn your, you know what I mean, to disprove your religion, you know what I mean, and unless yours is blasphemous towards mine, you know what I'm trying to like, then we gotta have a conversation, you know what I mean, but like I don't think my job is to tell you yours is wrong versus show you why mine is right, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and I just I've had these because I grew up in church now, I've been to church, you know what I mean, but I've had these conversations on the adult side of things, and it's like at some point it's, to my knowledge, again, I haven't read the whole Bible, but it's like, can't none of these humans get you into heaven? What? So,
hold on. What was that?
Can't none of these humans get you into heaven? So, at some point, and obviously, you have preachers and bishops and apostles, evangelists, all these different type of things, but it's like, can't none of them get you into heaven? The only human that can get you into heaven is Jesus, and now he's an angel. You know what I mean? Like, there's only been one person that truly got that quote unquote power, right? And like, so I mean, at some point in time, it's like, since you can't get me into heaven, and then when we look at the religious text, I'm switching over to finances now, it's not like people who are Catholic ain't got no money. The Catholic Church got a whole bunch of money. Shout out to the Black community, believe in church, but you ain't got it. Okay, so start getting confusing where you can't get me into heaven at all, right? You can't do the forgiveness, repentance, none of that type of stuff. That's when people say like, "Do you forgive me?" It's like I can't do forgiveness. That's a God thing. God forgives people. I can't forgive you. That's a God power. The whole forgiveness over somebody, you can't repent to me, right? And then so it's like it's like, look, man, I look all this stuff in the Bible. You can't do none of the stuff that get me into heaven. But then when I went to Proverbs and all the stuff about the money, you're not doing none of this here. So I'm like, I'm confused. You can't get me into heaven, what you preaching about, and your money is messed up. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Right, the main factors in the book. You ain't doing nothing. Look, you ain't doing nothing. Look.
And this, shout, y'all know how I feel about Dave Ramsey's book right there in the dark now. But when he said, like, if you want a master's degree in finance, read Proverbs, I thought he was BSing. You know what I mean? He's not lying. My excuse me for cussing, but dead ass. Like it's 31 books in Proverbs, right? January 1st. What's gonna be second when y'all hear this, but go read one book a day and you will learn a lot of financial stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute. Then why do Black people don't got no money? And then I think, how much was Proverbs, read in church, especially on the finance side. But then I think, wait, Christianity isn't, there are multiple denominations, but it's like the Catholics got money. If you understand, there's, the main difference between Judaism and Christianity, in short, is the Old Testament versus the New Testament, and Proverbs is where in the Old Testament. Never mind. But I'd be getting confused. I'm like, well, how do people who also believe in Christianity, relatively the same God, got money? And it's like, don't tell me they're reading a different Bible. Because you can watch Joel Osteen on TV.
Wow.
See this, and then when I start asking these people these questions, they be getting upset with me. And then I be getting mad. It's like I be confused. You can't get me into heaven. You had children out of wedlock, and you broke. What are we doing here? Somebody's gotta explain it to me. I don't need no type of translation. I don't need no degrees. You get degrees or something. I don't want none of that stuff. Again, as I touch these lines with the suicide, you can't do no push-ups. You ain't got nothing. You just talking.
Why you
whatever
weird to me?
Look at
that. And this is not a question of the faith. This is a question of the people dispensing the information.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just like you gotta at least play the sport to coach it, not at the level.
Yeah.
Because most of
And
the best coaches never played well at the level. It's like,
and I think this is something that you learn as you start maturing in your own, your own faith, right? As you start, if you're not questioning some of the stuff that you learn, you know what I mean, or I guess not some of the stuff, but what you learned and who you learned it from. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I don't think you're growing a little bit, because I actually had the same rationalization a while back, where it's like, if respectfully preachers just interpret the Bible, you know what I mean? They're supposed to be scholarly interpreters, but they're just interpreters of the Bible. Why do I need an interpreter? I can read. Like, you know what I'm saying? Most people don't want to read, but I can read. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get in there and get the information yourself. And it's like, how to the Bible itself, I mean, at least the one that we want to reread, is already an interpretation of interpretation of interpretation of, you know what I mean, of the original text. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the thing that you are using to teach me is also an interpretation of, you know what I mean,
of a language you didn't naturally speak, and all the people wrote, all these different type of things that's tacked on it. Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, that's why I look at the finance stuff. And by the way, one of the reasons I'm so anti-debt is because when you look at the Bible, it say not to have no debt. It literally says if you co-sign a loan, you're stupid. Hold on. I forgot I can share the screen now. I forgot. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. What is it? CEV. Oh my goodness. I forgot that I could share my screen now. I'm gonna find it real quick. Proverbs. Oh my goodness, it's Proverbs. What is it? 17. Also, too, Proverbs, if you break it down, it literally is pro, and then verbs. So pro or positive actions. Never mind.
Well, we better have a sermon here.
Yeah. Look. Oh my goodness! But it's one of those things like
to put the church organs on the soundboard. Look at it.
I think we have them on there. But it's one of those things where it's like I'm looking at it and I'm like, all this stuff can't be made up. I think it's Proverbs 17:18. Let me see. There we go. I found it. I mean, my goodness. I got a note that I have all these verses in, but this is when I get confused, right? And it's like, hey, maybe you don't like this version, but like then like this version is ruthless. What does it say right here? Can I highlight it?
To guarantee someone else's loan.
Yeah. What y'all want me to do? And then see, and this is why I always realize, well, I'm not in charge and all these different type of things, but this is why I speak like this. But I would get up in the pulpit and be like, why you got all these Parent Plus loans in here? Someone has to explain it to me. It says it right here. It's stupid to guarantee someone else's loan. How much, when they say make it plain, how much plain do you want it?
Well, the rebuttal is, well, they're my children, Corey. What am I supposed? I want them to have the best
advantage. I was gonna say, you niggas need to shut up. Don't get me started.
Wait.
Hey, I'm not the one. See, look, all right, now see, and this is the New King James version, which is morally what you're gonna most of the time what you're gonna see, or the King James version. Right. But a man devoid of understanding shakes hands in a pledge. If you don't know, a pledge, right, is in short debt, and becomes surety for his friend. Sure. Never mind. All right, no, now we know.
Hold on, we getting the mortgage. Yeah. That's pledge, right?
Yeah, he's already.
Look, we good. I remember that. All right.
Right. So, and it's one of those things where it's like to wrap up, right? Oh my goodness. But it's one of those things where it's like, yo, somebody gotta explain something to me, and it's not my fault. But especially now too, where like why I put so much pressure on people now is to get their finances right. Because the one thing you can do with people who are near retirement age, you can actually tell them how much money they should have at this moment, because we already know what the stock market did. We already know what crazy expenses popped up, how many kids you're gonna have, et cetera, et cetera. So when I can sit here and say, well, how many of y'all have been, how many in your late 50s, 60s? Okay, well, if you would invested this much money, this is how much. I don't have to guess the rate of return because we already know what it is. And it's like, well, why don't you have that much money? And what you can't say your kids popped up out of nowhere, because I can.
Yeah.
I ain't got to plan out your past. That's oxymoronic. Okay, never mind. All right, we get no. Put it like this. Well, I'm telling you, when I bring my man up, so I got somebody who can quote more Bible stuff for me. Look, somebody got to ask me a question. It's all dark too. I got the white shirt on. What am I doing in here? But like, look. It's gonna be interesting. And again, just be very clear. I pay my tithes. This is not to say don't do this type of stuff. Again, you show me your tax return and show me what you've been doing with your 10%. Gross. No, okay. Be careful now. Don't start. No, won't be nothing. But all right, y'all. That's it. Locked and loaded. No, we back. See, that's why I missed it.
There you go.
Yeah. The episode's always better with both of us.
Look, it's the energy. It's energy. It's the volley of, the volley of questions back and forth. You know what I mean? It's a vibe,
All right. To wrap up though, fitness question. How do you hold yourself accountable for running? I got all the tips here too, so I'm gonna just click through and let you go through them.
Gotcha. I'm gonna do it real quick. All right. So first tip is to set specific goals. You can set a goal that you can find achievable, even if it is a sub goal within the larger goal. Set something so it creates a sustainable, healthy lifestyle pace. Okay. Tip 2, make a plan. Again, you want to become you want to make a routine, something that is repeatable within an interval or, a set period of time, and that you can keep track of your goal or your sub goal and repeat on a 24, 40 hour, whatever your interval pace is. All right. So that's tip 2. Tip 3 is to track your progress. Again, if you're doing 120 miles in 120 days, we are currently using the Nike Run Club app, but you can use other applications to check your progress. Even if you're just an old school person and you got a notebook and you want to write down your mileage every day, you can do that too. I know some people who literally still have trackers, like written trackers. Like that's what they do for their goals and, their daily tasks. And that's fine. However you want to track it. Make sure you track your progress. That'll help you stay motivated so you can see your goals and your work towards that goal. Tip number 4 is find an accountability partner. Hey, hello, accountability partner right here. I got you. So find you an accountability partner. But if you don't like a long distance or a virtual accountability partner, find one that is in your household or in your community. Somebody that can hold you accountable for whatever your fitness journey or goal is. Tip number 5 is to reward yourself. Again, we are doing a marathon, not a sprint. 120 days can be evenly divided down into 4 months. So maybe set a reward for yourself every 4 months, but make sure it is a reward that is not only that you'll enjoy, but not necessarily take you off track from your goal. Okay. And tip number 6, don't be too hard on yourself. Again, you're doing something that you have never done. That's usually what a goal is. It's something that you setting the bar high, right? You're trying to knock something out of the park versus just, getting a I'm trying to use a baseball analogy here. Going to first base. All right, you trying to get a home run. Oh, look, that's next time I'm gonna stick to a sport I know. Anyways, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. It is okay to take a rest day if need be. Reward yourself and take care of your body as necessary, but ultimately, don't be mad if you need to take some time off. Okay, and those are your 6 tips to hold yourself accountable for running, or not just running, even any fitness goal in general, but this particular question, running. Okay, and the finance question is, how to combat people who use religious structure to rationalize debt payoffs. And then one of the examples that we talked about was Peter Pavlov's miracle spring water, as far as anointing the checkbooks in their bodies. It's on you, Mr. Covington.
Yes. Again, if you believe this stuff from a religious standpoint, go ahead and do it. No need to give you pushback on that. Shout out to the nighttime version of me. You can't even see my face. However,
we're gonna get you a light.
I got the light, but it's like I didn't turn it off because we was going to be done before the sun went down. Obviously, we're not done before sun. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's how it always goes.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean. But shout out to electricity bill. You know what I mean? So
right.
I'm paying it now. Oh my goodness. But yes, from a religious standpoint, if you want to spend some money on a particular tool, one could say you kind of already do that with your tithes, right? You give to your church or whatever, and they give you some type of resources back. So why not buy something else in general? Go ahead. At the end of the day, most people, whatever it is, they need to generally put some more equity behind something that they're trying to do. And a lot of times people don't hit their goals because they might not put no money up, right? Put your money where your mouth is. And this might be one of the things that, hey, I spent this money, and not only is by spending this money, I'm going to get the results from a religious standpoint, but it just helps you stay motivated and disciplined because you spent money. Like, I mean, let's be clear. I'm going to get my money's worth, right? And if you're getting my money's worth for buying this miracle spring water is being better financially, then I'm going to make sure I, do what I need to do. And then obviously one of the probably most quoted religious texts, faith without works is dead. So you got to put in the work, right, to make sure you get what you want. All right. Here we go. All right. No, wait, hold on, y'all. Now, see, if you listen the whole hour, almost and a half now, and y'all hit that like button, that's egregious. It's ludicrous. Not like the rapper, but it's egregious. It's insane. Okay. Shout out to China who said Ludacris was top 20 rapper. Ludacris is not top 20 all time.
Whoa.
Ludacris is top 20?
Listen, we'll talk about it offline.
No, I want to talk about it right now.
No.
He's top 20 all time?
Yeah. Yes.
You tell me you can't name 20. You can't name 20 people who are better than
Ludacris is the only rapper that has won the Basement Freestyle Mic Award twice. He's the only one. There's a lot of rappers that's been on the Basement. Have you listened to Big Tigger in the Basement, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Is he top 10?
You said what?
Is he top 10?
I wouldn't say top 10, but he's definitely top 20.
So that means I only got to name 10 people then. Because you not top.
You about to do the thing where you ask a bunch of questions, you try to back me into a corner and maybe defend my argument when I just said I ain't about to have. I know you gonna look. Look, this is my guy. Yo, we about to have this conversation. We'll have it offline. I got you.
In all honesty, I don't know enough all time. Like I don't know, like NBA, NFL. I don't know 20 rappers to confidently say he's not top 20. But I'm thinking like.
He's definitely top 20. I mean, the fact that I can think of Ludacris and just think of high level accomplishments off the top of my head, I don't know 19 people. Like for him to not be top 20, I would have to know 20 people better than him.
Right, you have to know 20 people. And
yeah.
I would say what I've seen. One of the reasons I get pushback is I've seen some other people do it, and rest in peace to DMX. But I saw somebody put DMX in the top 10. I was like, wait, DMX top 10? That I mean, in general, I'm just saying, but.
We also got to talk about criteria too.
And it gets a little bit music, art, extremely subjective, right? I mean, like my goodness, but it's kind of. I mean, usually in the top 10, it's gonna be Piggy and Pac. I mean, this is really 8. I'm just saying in general, like you trying to pay respect and you throw Nas and J and M, like that's 5. I'm just saying, like. And then and then people are like, oh, I don't really like Pac and Eminem like that. It's like, God dang, you take a
you start taking. I mean, listen, that's why I said you guys start looking at accolades. It's almost like you start having the championship ring conversation, right? Where it's like, you start looking at how many championships somebody got, and it's like, does that determine that they're top 20 player over the all time? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think it's one of those things as we wrap up, right? But I think it's one of those things where it's like best like rapper. Right. And then like best like rap artist and like the magnitude. Cause like somebody like, I mean, Jay-Z's a lot popular now, but before like he started getting the crazy billionaire type money, you could say that probably like the most popular, like mega superstar rapper, right? Not pop star rapper was Snoop Dogg. Like everybody knows Snoop Dogg, like just in general, as far as the stardom. Right. Yeah. And then they got the one thing where Jay-Z's on a train in New York and the lady doesn't know who he is. And he's like, you know, Beyonce? Well, that's my wife. She's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like the lady gonna know who Snoop Dogg is. And I think that's where, them being entertainment is sort of like, I think, Ludacris, like, definitely Ludacris, he's has been some great movies, right? Fast and Furious. So definitely overall, but we talking rap accolades. I'm like, dang, he might be top 20, but I'm just like,
listen,
but he's in the back end. He's in the top 11 to 20, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. That's something like that. The number is what secures it, right? Top 20. Yeah. I cannot name 20 rappers that are better than Ludacris. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That's you know what I'm saying. If you gonna do it, you gotta show me your list, because then I'm gonna poke holes. Because like Luda got some hits, bro. Like,
but I mean, there are people like put like 3 or 4 Wu-Tang members in their top 20. You know what I mean? Like you gonna run out of spots.
And you gotta.
Like if I see,
and it's also like if they're a group, I just put them all as one, like the clan.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah. Jules, you gonna say Wu-Tang Clan? Boom, one spot.
Yeah.
Look at that. You know what I'm
saying? And it gets kind of like you put Method Man in there. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I mean, can I say Method Man? Like, can you put Luda over? It gets confusing. They pay respect, right, to your elders, but it's like, I don't know. Then we got Aubrey sitting over here with all these damn accolades. I'm just saying.
And the problem with Aubrey is he fits into so many categories. It's just like, what do we? I mean, he's a rapper because he came in the scene as a rapper, I guess. But like, I mean, I call him a rapper, like, because that joke would be singing and rapping at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what
or
is
just
he? Like,
or just like a pop star. Like, pop, like it is a genre of music, but like it stands like literally like popular music. You know what I mean? Like, so
right.
It's like me, like he just make hits. I mean, he just put
I mean, that's he said in a new album. What do you say? I get on your song and make your label think they need you, for real. I mean, name a person who don't want a Drake feature. Like, I mean, it's almost like it makes you connect the dots and you start diving into who is this person? Like, what was the dude? Look Alive. I had never heard of JB. What's his name? JB Block Boy ever in my life until Look Alive came out, and then I was like, hey.
But like this, we'll take a Drake feature.
Listen. Sam won't drop a quick 16. I don't even rap. I don't even do this.
No, I'm saying he can just come on here. We don't need him. I'm just saying, like, shout out to the algorithm. We'll take Drake. Like,
it worked. I mean,
oh my goodness. Shout out. Put like this: if I get proven wrong that Ludacris is top 20, I won't give too much pushback on it. Because I love Ludacris, but I'm just like, when people start doing like top something and put a number on it, I think like sometimes they forget that like once you get to 20, that's it. Like you got to kick somebody out if you want to put somebody in.
Well, I started thinking about it as in what has he done, and then how many other people can do that?
Do it.
Like, you know what I mean?
He's definitely superstar overall. Like, I mean, Ludacris. I mean, let's be clear, it's Ludacris. But it's one of the things like, is Kobe top 10 or not? And it's like when you start running off 10 NBA players, it's like you got to kick somebody out. And I have no issue putting Kobe in the top 10, but it's like
it's a wider pool of them too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, rap is like, I mean, I'm not saying that there's not a lot of rappers, but it's way more NBA players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that in that conversation. But you start looking at it and it's like, I mean, dang, is Kobe top 10? Because I didn't name 8 people and I didn't left off. Like I still got 5 or 6 more people that I can put on. And I have no issue with it, but it's like, I mean, he's second best for his position. So I got to put everybody who's first best in their position above him by general logic. If you best ever at your position, you got to be top 10, right?
I think when you start talking about all time, you got to start narrowing it down into scope of position. You know what I'm saying? We talk about NBA, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's second best shooting guard is behind Jordan, but I mean, like, is Tim Duncan top 10? Most people like Tim Duncan. They were like, dang, look at his accolades when he retired. And it's like, well, he's got to be the best power forward because before him was Kevin McHale, but Kevin McHale was never in a top 10 conversation before Tim Duncan like got towards the end of his career. So it's like, how do you just stick Tim in there? Because Kevin gets the knock for being on team with Larry. Like he was the second best player on his team his entire prime. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, that's why I be listening to the old heads and I be like, y'all be making stuff up. Because I'm like,
it's all preference. It's all preference. There's not it's all preference. It's a bunch of old people in a room that sit and vote on this type of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And that's also like, it's also in accordance to your generation. I mean, like, you're one of the people who I know who look up and research it, so you got the scope of all the eras, right? But it's like, I'm 30, so you start talking about these people that's before 93. I don't know what you're talking about. Like I'm saying, like those,
2000.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know who John Stockton is, but he ain't relevant to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a great player, but he's not relevant to me. I ain't never seen him play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's one of those, and it's one of those things where, like, when I look at, like, quote unquote our history, pretty much like LeBron and Brady and beyond, because even Kobe has his sets before like our true like age, like we were old enough, but LeBron and Brady are the true like first like y'all. I don't know what sports y'all watch, but these people are crazy, and it's like as I'm watching the history, and I'm like, I try to be as objective as possible and try to separate accomplishments from talents, see like who's the best basketball player versus who's the best NBA basketball player, which, brings in NBA awards, right? And it's like Tom Brady's not the best quarterback ever from a talent standpoint. He's not. He's not even, he's probably barely even top 20. Like from an arm talent, like there are people who way better physically gifted than him. But when we bring in that
because I'm a winning.
When we bring in them awards, it's not even close. And it's one of those things like Patrick Mahomes easily better than Tom Brady, but since Tom beat him in Super Bowl, Patrick has to do to win 10 straight, maybe like overtake somebody that you played against. It's not like LeBron and Jordan when they never played. It's like if I played against you and I beat you, you got to do something crazy to get over top me. So that's one of the things I just look at now. Like shout out to Peyton Manning. We got to go though because it's $1.30. So now we're just rapping. All right, y'all. Make sure that like button.
please like, share, subscribe. All right. Yes. In the group chat, rate, review, comment. We appreciate all that. I got you, bro. I got rate, review. Put us in the group chat. We want all that smoke. Please share our content. You can check my man Cory out at. You want me to wrap it up for you guys? Okay. You can check my man Cory out at Sideline Cory. That's Sideline SIDLINE_Cory CORY on Instagram, on not Facebook, Twitter and TikTok. And then you can check me out at StopStallingJ StopStallingJay on Instagram and Twitter. Business page is FinallyFit06 FINALLFIT06 on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Also the business page, the website is www.finallyfit.live. All right. If I wanted to get my budget together, I was going to say something. Never mind. If I wanted to get my budget together, no. We're being respectful. If I wanted to get my budget together, how can I do that? Go ahead.
I don't even know what you was going to say. You got to tell me offline. I'm like, what? What were you going to say about the budget? But yes, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to me or anywhere where Jordan just mentioned. Again, Silent_Cory. But again, $50 for one 1 hour session a month, and then $100 for up to one 1 hour session a week. We'll get your budget together, show you how to track transactions, figure out how you want to define how you want to handle debt and make sure you handle it that way. So debt payoff goals, etc., credit score improvement. And then we get to obviously building an emergency fund and then investing. It's not that much stuff you can do with money. Y'all just make it more complicated than it is. Now, Jordan.
Yes, sir.
If people want to get their fitness together, again, New Year's resolutions, right? It's that time of year. What can people do?
please, you can check me out at www.finallyfit.live. You can get your monthly virtual subscriptions for either my immediate or now my beginner class. Immediate class is $60 a month. That gets you 8 classes on Monday and Wednesday from 5:30 to 6:30. All right, as well as a monthly check-in, access to the virtual library, and the 24-hour access to me, not 24, I gotta sleep. 18-hour access to me, to me around the clock as we work to meet your goals. The beginner class, you get class on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 6:30, as many Tuesdays and Thursdays as there is on a 30-day basis, as well as all the aforementioned things. So the monthly check-in, the virtual library, etc. All right. Again, we are also running a special. I think I might extend it another week. I had to go into the new year, but I'm extending one more week just to make sure people can see it, especially because I had so many people locked in for the challenge. But I am actually doing half off on the monthly virtual subscriptions for the month of January. So if you would like to jump in with us, in addition to getting out here and moving, if you want to jump in either of those classes, the beginner or the intermediate and advanced, for the month of January, it is half off right now. So that's $30 for the intermediate class and $15 for the beginner class. I'm doing that so you can get your foot in the door and you can get some work in. Okay, again, that's www.finallyfit.live. All right. I think that's it.
Do you have anything else?
No, sir.
Also, too, one thing before we finish, because y'all was lying my whole life saying Peyton was better than Tom, and I just was like, what the hell is y'all talking about? I was confused. Tom was always 2+ rings up on the boy.
Listen.
And then somebody, Marcellus Wiley, had the nerve to say after Peyton won his last Super Bowl, he was still better than Tom. I said, what? Tom went to win like 3 more Super Bowls after that. But I'm like, yo, this is the blasphemy I'll be talking about. Y'all just be making stuff up. That's not a preference thing. How he got 7 rings? Don't he have 7? Don't he have 7?
This is why we don't have sports conversations with Cory, because we gotta have a whole nother episode after this to talk about how all the sports top conversations. And he can start digging up facts that don't nobody know but him. All right, all right, y'all. Remember to say more and say less.
Hey, no, don't take my stuff. All right, you have anything else? No, before y'all
sorry.
get up out of here, make sure you hit that like button, share and subscribe. Please help us out on the YouTube algorithm as well as the podcast platforms, and leave your comments as well. And again, we're gonna try to do these every other week. And then the Wealth Wednesdays will continue to be once a week. And again, tomorrow I'll be going live for the student loan episode. All right, you have anything else, bro?
No, sir. We're good to go.
All right. So remember to say more, say less.
And keep making better your best.
And we will catch y'all in the
next one.
Let's go.